Hey there, political junkies, and welcome to The Drive, CBSNews.com show where we tell you what's going on with the race for the Republican presidential nomination. And what's going on is Rick Perry. Now, his performance in this debate last night was actually pretty good for almost the entire 2 hours. There just happened to be this 53 seconds that was just about the most infamous moment of the campaign so far.
And the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
You're seeing it on screen now. This is, of course, Rick Perry bringing up the 3 federal agencies that he said he is going to eliminate as president, and then failing to name the third one. It turns out, he said later, it was the Department of Energy. Now, this is one of those moments that's, assuming Rick Perry doesn't get the nomination, and frankly, that's not the worst assumption right now, that's the thing that people are going to seize on when they're writing their postmortems of what happened. I mean, it's one thing to sort of have a little bit of a brain freeze in a campaign, but when you are unable to name something like this, it just looks so unpresidential. And I mean, let's think about what happened here. Instead of being able to just sort of talk in depth about this topic, which is what Mitt Romney does in debates, he seemed to just sort of be rattling off a list. He seemed like a high school student who had crammed the night before and had just forgotten one item on the list. If you want to look like a president, you don't want to look like you've crammed and just forgot one thing. You want to look like you understand the issues. This is going to seriously damage his fundraising. It's going to seriously damage his narrative in the media, and that matters. And frankly, it's just disastrous. So let's go over to the big board here. We have Rick Perry currently in second place in the race for the nomination, and you see his head right there. And I don't think we have any choice but to send him way back. This is a sack, a epic sack. We're going to put him back here at the 40 behind Herman Cain. Now let's talk about Herman Cain, also in last night's debate. A guy who I've been saying for a long time, despite being at the top of the polls, isn't really a serious contender for the nomination because he doesn't have the organization, he doesn't have a lot of money, he doesn't seem to be particularly focused on winning this thing. He's not been in Iowa and New Hampshire. Well, the sexual harassment scandal continues to go on. These women now say that they're going to have a joint press conference. Cain doesn't seem to have an answer. I was thinking perhaps last night he would show up with another trick up his sleeve, right? Another sort of 999 plan, something to distract from this scandal. Well, he just went to 999 again, and it's gotten to the point where people start laughing when he brings it up because he brings it up so often. Herman Cain's in deep trouble. He doesn't have the structural situation that he needs, and he also is going back on our board. So let's take a look at the big board. And we're taking Herman Cain, pushing him back a little bit. And actually, I want to stay on the board for a minute and just talk about it, because if you look at what we have all of these contenders in the back of the pack. And then who do we have at the front? The one and only man, really, I think, the man whose race it is to lose, and that's Mitt Romney. At this point in the race, I just think it's hard to see who is the real threat to Mitt Romney. Now, you have some of these other folks who could come up, and there are a lot of conservatives who don't like Romney. A lot of conservatives want someone else to rally around. But who's that going to be? Perry has just, screwed this thing up pretty badly. You look for maybe a Michelle Bachmann. She's already peaked. She doesn't really seem particularly plausible. The money people don't like her. Maybe Rick Santorum, but I mean, realistically, who's going to come forward? I think the only sort of semi-plausible figure to challenge as the anti-Romney is Newt Gingrich. But Gingrich also is a guy that sort of doesn't seem to be interested in the day-to-day hard work of a campaign. So really, at this point, if you have to look at what's likely to be the race against next November, it's going to be President Obama, and it's probably going to be Mitt Romney. The question is, are conservatives going to revolt? If it is Mitt Romney, are they going to look for a third-party candidate? Are they going to try to sort of find some way out? Because this whole race has been about, is there someone besides Mitt Romney? Is there someone besides Mitt Romney? Well, after last night's debate, I think a lot of them are saying, you know what? This is our guy, and we're just going to have to stick with him. I'm Brian Montopoli, CBS News for The Drive, and we will see you next time.